Hello, I'm Megan Charpentier and I'm here at the Cabarrus Health Alliance today in our wellness kitchen, and we're going to be making a red pepper hummus pita sandwich today. This is a really simple way to have a really healthy lunch for you, and there's actually going to be no meat in here. Instead, we're going to be using chickpeas or garbanzo beans for our protein source. So we're going to make everything actually by scratch, and we're going to start by making hummus. So hummus is actually just made up of chickpeas. It's really simple to go ahead and have, and you might see it in the grocery store labeled as garbanzo beans, same thing. The beans are very small little light colored circles, and we're gonna just go ahead and make sure, as anything in a can, we're gonna rinse and drain them before adding them to our blender. So we have a full can here. We're going to add some lemon juice. And so with that, it's going to help give it a great flavor. Garbanzo beans are wonderful to go ahead and pick up any flavor of what it is you're cooking. So just by adding half of a lemon is really going to amp up the flavor. So we're going to squeeze half of a lemon into here. We're also going to add garlic. So based on how much garlic you prefer to have, you could add even more cloves, but we're going to add 2 cloves in this one, and we just have a garlic press. If you do not have a garlic press, you could certainly just go ahead and chop it up by hand, or if you have a really strong blender, you could actually just throw the full garlic bulb right into the blender and it will do it for you. So we're going to add our 2 garlic cloves into our blender. We're also going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. So olive oil is great to be cooking anything in. It's a very healthy fat and a good fat for you, but you don't want to have too much because too much of a good thing can still be a bit of a bad thing. So we're not going to go overboard, but just 1 tablespoon here in this blender. And once we start blending, if we do need a little bit more liquid to make the hummus the right consistency, we'll go ahead and add some extra water to it rather than adding extra olive oil. And lastly with this, we're actually making a red pepper hummus. So we're going to add roasted red peppers. You can find these usually in the pasta aisle or international aisle in the grocery store, and they are really just roasted red peppers. So instead of buying anything in a jar, you could actually go ahead and just buy a bell pepper and roast it yourself in the oven. But for today, we're just going to go ahead and add about 3 large slices into our blender. And they are pretty big, as you can see, but they're gonna really amp up the flavor as well. So we have everything that we need to go into our food processor. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the lid on here and blend. So you're only going to be blending for about 30 to 60 seconds at a time because you're going to want to definitely scoop down the sides and get everything right back to the blade area. So as you can see, everything's starting to come together, the red color. So we'll scoop this down here, and I do believe we need a little bit more liquid consistency, so we're going to add about 2 more tablespoons of water. This way, we're able to save on, like I said, all of that extra fat that we might have in this hummus. But as you've seen hummus in the grocery store, you can go ahead and make any type of flavor that you would prefer to have. So if you don't like red peppers, you could certainly add jalapenos, or you could add just extra garlic, or you can have it plain. So we're going to throw this back on in our blender. And I believe we're just about done here with this. Perfect. So what we're going to have here, as you see, our hummus is definitely an orangish red color, and we have a perfect consistency that we're going to be able to spread within our pita sandwiches. So I'm just going to take the blade out so we are able to get better access to it. And next, we're going to start to prepare the actual pitas. So with this, we have just a regular cucumber, and now that it's about time for the summer, there's going to be an abundance of produce out, so make sure you definitely visit your local farmers markets or just stop at your local grocery store. And we're just gonna go ahead and slice up our cucumbers, and you will use probably a whole entire cucumber if you're feeding your entire family, but for right now, we're just gonna chop up a little bit so I can show you how to assemble our pita sandwiches. With our cucumbers, we're also going to be adding lettuce. So I just have green leaf lettuce here, but you could purchase spinach, you could purchase red leaf, any type that you really prefer to have at home, definitely works. So we have rinsed our lettuce and we're just going to use about maybe 2 slices per pita. So we have that ready to go. And then with our pita pockets, so you might have seen these at the store. They're big circles like this. They're come in white, wheat, different types of varieties. We've got the wheat pita pockets here today, and that just gets you some extra fiber in your diet, and we always say that you should have your whole grains anytime you possibly can. So we're gonna slice the pita in half. By doing so, you're gonna actually notice that the pita just opens. So by doing that, you're able to then create your pita pocket, if you will. So we're gonna take a little bit of hummus here with your spatula, and you're gonna place it in the inside of this pita. And then you're gonna start to assemble the rest of it. So you've got your cucumber slices. So typically about 3 will fit in there comfortably, but you can always put more vegetables in. That's always a great option. And then when you take your lettuce, you might have to break it apart a little bit to get it in there. You're just gonna also stuff that in there as well. And voila, you have your pita pocket sandwich. This is a great portable lunch for you and the kids or anybody in your family that makes sure you're getting a lot of the great nutrition that you need, and you've got your protein as the beans, your whole grains, and your vegetables. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you're watching online, the link below will get you to the recipe, and if not, look for the recipe cards in the waiting room. Thank you so much.